Last week, Apple announced the third generation of the standard AirPods, and I've been using them for several days now, and I've got some thoughts. This is my AirPods 3 review. Let's do it. The original AirPods were released in December 2016. Second generation was released in March 2019, with the AirPods Pro dropping that same year in October. AirPods Max came as a surprise in December 2020, and 10 months later, we've got the third generation of the standard AirPods, which hasn't seen an update in 2.5 years, and Apple has put in the work to make these a solid buy. Let's get started with my favorite new addition, spatial audio with dynamic head tracking. Now, this isn't new to the AirPods lineup, as it's a feature you'll find in both AirPods Pro and AirPods Max. However, this is the first time we're seeing spatial audio support in the entry-level AirPods, and it's a big deal because you'll find spatial audio content in Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus, Netflix, and even in group FaceTime calls. The result is an immersive audio experience that seemingly places sounds anywhere in space, while dynamic head tracking fixes the soundstage so you feel like you're right in the middle of the music or movie, even if you move your head or if your device moves. Now, spatial audio supports Dolby 5.1, 7.1, and Dolby Atmos sources. Continuing with sound and sound quality, another feature Apple is bringing to the third generation AirPods is adaptive EQ. Adaptive EQ uses microphones to listen to what's going into your ears and adjusts the low and mid frequencies on the fly based on several factors. These include the fit and seal around each of your ears, taking into account things like your own personal ear geometry and fit, ensuring your music is constantly balanced properly and that detail remains rich. The headphones know what the music is supposed to sound like and will adjust accordingly to make sure you're getting the best sound thanks to the built-in H1 chip. This is all thanks to Apple's computational audio prowess. The headphones are doing the work and compensating for any inconsistencies to give you the best sound that they can, processing the audio going through the speakers and listening back to it and adjusting it in real time. Next, let's talk about another very nice improvement, battery life. This one is pretty straightforward. The third generation AirPods now have 6 hours of listening time per charge, which is up from the 5 hours of listening on the previous generation. You get up to 4 hours of talk time compared to 3 hours previously. So 1 additional hour of both listening and talk time, and 5 minutes in the case provides an hour of listening time. With the case, you get up to 30 hours of listening time, which is up from the 24 hours from the previous model. So that's 4 full charges with the charging case. Speaking of this case, it's now MagSafe compatible. So it'll attach to a MagSafe charger for wireless charging, but you can still use any Qi certified charger or a lightning cable as well. It should be noted that while MagSafe charging results in faster charging speeds on the iPhone, there's no speed benefits when charging the AirPods. Also different on the new AirPods is the controls. Gone is the tapping on the earbuds, and in its place is the force sensor that Apple brought over from AirPods Pro, making the stem 33% shorter. This means that you squeeze once to play, pause, or answer a call, twice to skip forward a track, 3 times to skip back, and squeeze and hold for Siri if you prefer that over speaking the Siri command. The in-ear detection is improved too, thanks to a new Skin Detect optical sensor, and this is something Apple didn't even mention in the keynote. The AirPods can now detect when they're in contact with skin, so they know exactly when they're in your ear and when they aren't, rather than just relying on light. This means they more accurately turn off and on, and save battery life as well by not thinking they're in an ear when they're actually in a pocket. Other design notes include a new, more contoured and rounded design. They look very similar to AirPods Pro, but without the rubber ear tips that go into the ear canal. I actually prefer those ear tips myself, but I've heard from people on both sides of that fence, so it's a personal preference. The new design also allows for sweat and water resistance. Not only are the AirPods themselves IPX4 rated, which means it's fine if you use them while exercising or working up a sweat, but even the case itself is IPX4 rated, and that's something that not even the AirPods Pro can boast, even though the Pro also just got a new MagSafe compatible case as well. So 2 layers of protection with the new AirPods 3rd generation. The next big feature Apple brought to the 3rd generation AirPods is Find My support. In the 5 years I've been using AirPods, I've never lost them until about 4 months ago when I lost my AirPods Pro. I replaced them and then promptly lost those just weeks later. So now I'm on my third pair of AirPods Pro, but recently Apple added enhanced Find My support to them, and they've done the same here on the 3rd gen model. This means that if you misplace your AirPods, you can track them down in the Find My app. From there, you can see how close they are with proximity view, and you can even get separation alerts if you leave them behind once they're out of Bluetooth range. This is a really welcome feature, and I absolutely love what Apple has been doing to bolster Find My over the past 6 months since the release of AirTags. Apple's AirPods lineup still includes the 2nd generation model at a new lower price of $129, while the 3rd generation is available for $179, the AirPods Pro remain at $249, and the top of the line AirPods Max over-ear headphones are $549. With the additional features added to the 3rd generation, they really do feel like AirPods Pro without the active noise cancellation and rubber tips, but with better battery life. Let me know if you're planning to pick up a pair of the new AirPods for yourself. Thanks for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support. I'm Andrew Webers, and I'll catch you in the next video.